Hello, guys. Welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to be joined with Oliver Brackbury. How do you say your sir? Dakwe?
Danquah, bit of a long one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Bit of a mouthful.
but he's a journeyman, light heavyweight journeyman. He's had 3 fights at the minute, and
Still doing great.
my first question for you is: how did you get into boxing? And did you always, when you turned over pro, was the goal always to be a journeyman?
So I started boxing probably around 5 or 6 years ago now. Probably 6 years ago. I started off as hated as it is doing one of them ultra light collar charity fights. My granddad had cancer, so that's what got me into it, and then I've just loved it ever since. Had 9 amateur bouts, and then could never really get matched up. Not because just as an adult, at my weight class, there just wasn't really much about. I always wanted to be busier than what I actually was. And my coach just said to me, "Why don't you just turn over and we'll go on the road?" And obviously, the money's pretty decent.
Yeah.
I didn't ever think I'd set the world alight, and I've got no like visions of grandeur or anything like that. I just wanted to be out boxing, be busy, without the stress of selling tickets. So obviously, going on the road and being the away fighter sort of suited me.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And of course, you fight the best of the best, and the best coming up when you're a journeyman.
Well, that's the thing. Like, obviously, everyone looks at a journeyman's record, but
But you haven't had it easy in your first 3 fights.
no, I've had some pretty decent kids since the cut on my eye. But obviously,
Three
journeymen they
big
get bad
hitters
rap.
as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's why I got the bloody cut on my eye. But we'll be out again in 28 days. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it looks like you've got Joe Sullivan.
yeah, I think that's penciled in. I think, like I say, I'm suspended at the minute, but I think I might be back in time for that.
Fingers
Obviously, I'll have to
crossed.
leave that with your manager. But yeah, Keenan Wingfield Brown, he stopped two. Oh no, he stopped this first kid. Second kid, he absolutely pulverized, and then um, me. It was only going one way. Obviously, he was going to beat me, but it was a poor stoppage in my eyes and most people's eyes. But then
I was watching that fight. I think it was on YouTube.
yeah, and then I had Francis Kershaw again. He stopped Ryan
So
Hibbert,
with
who's
Keenan, were you hurt? Did he?
no. So in my head, obviously he's a strong kid and he does it quite hard. But at that point, I'd not been rocked. I just heard the 10-second clapper, and I thought, oh, I've got 10 seconds here. I'll just try and ride his shots on the ropes. And then in my head, the ref was coming in to say, right, end of round. So I sort of like dropped my arms and he was waving it off. And I was like, you for real, mate? But obviously, that's my first
I
pro
know
fight.
because when you're journeyman, you don't get upset necessarily when you lose, but as you got like stopped on your debut, was that hard to take?
I think if it was in my head, if I thought it was a genuine stoppage, it would have been easier to take. But because in my head I was perfectly fine and I was riding the
Do
shots.
you think you would
And
have been able to finish the fight? I know you wouldn't, in my opinion, no offense, you wouldn't have got the win, but
oh no, no, I mean that no.
I reckon
No.
you could have survived that one, I reckon.
Yeah, well, let's say I just sat on the ropes because I heard the 10-second clapper and I thought, I've got 10 seconds here. I'll just have a chill out. And
Mm,
and I was riding the shots all right. And like I say, it's just one, but I'm learning on the job. Like I say, I've only had 9 amateur fights.
I
So
know.
I'm sort of learning on the job on the road, probably one of the hardest and stupidest ways to do it. But
Yeah.
it is what it pays well, and I've got a wedding to pay for. So
And then you had Francis Kershaw, he was 2-0. He demolished I think he won him again, had a one knockout, and then fought
yeah,
Ryan Hibbert, who's a tough journeyman, and he
yeah,
beat
yeah,
him quite comfortably. And
yeah,
but yeah, you survived that one, which
yeah,
is
yeah. Again,
in the right box.
yeah. So again, I think with that one, I just sort of did a lot of feints, and was a bit more of a negative. So let him come to me type thing and counted every now and again.
Is it because you just were more cautious that fight? Like
I just think because obviously the first fight was my debut, nerves. I just felt a bit more relaxed in that one. Um,
that's good.
Composed, but and we spoke about obviously we knew he was a rangy southpaw. And to be fair, my main sparring partner in the gym, Josh Crossland, I think he's 16, 17 amateur bouts.
Yeah.
He's a southpaw as well, so I'm quite au fait with sparring and training with a southpaw. So I felt quite comfortable. Obviously, some people get quite flustered against a southpaw, but I feel quite comfortable against them because most of my sparring comes from a southpaw at my weight class.
That's
So
good.
um, yeah, just a bit more of a reserve tactic, sort of feint, try and keep him away. I knew he was probably going to be a bit of a banger, and he did it. He was a strong kid, did it hard, but because I was obviously riding his shots and I used my head movements and feints, and I was sort of in and out of range.
Yeah.
We got done and
But
survived.
I bet you were relieved that you survived that one.
Yeah, he's a big kid. He hits hard.
Yes.
We had a day before weighing for that one. I think it
Do you
was
prefer
12
day
12.
before weigh-ins or on the day?
To be honest, I make 12-7 quite easily, quite comfortably. I've not actually done 12-7 because since my debut, because so the Kershaw fight was matched at 12-12, so that was the day before. I matched weighed in at twelve
Was
twelve
that
for that.
super middle, that one?
No, I think that's in between uh, light heavyweight and cruiser, to be honest.
Ah. So
And then
would you take a fight at cruiserweight?
I don't really want to be getting hit by big boys like that.
Fair enough, mate.
If I had a bit more notice, I could probably do middle. So if I had, because
That's the
obviously,
lowest you could go.
yeah, with the day, probably, yeah. I think
Mm.
super between middle and super middle, same day weighing, and then the day before weighing, I could probably do middleweight quite comfortably with a couple of weeks' notice.
But the
But
highest you probably would go is light heavy.
yeah, probably 13 stone is probably the
Because
highest.
on box rec it's got you down as light heavy.
Yeah, yeah. So I say at
But with
12
you
7,
journeyman, you always float, don't you? Really?
fluctuate up and down weight classes, mate. It's whatever pays well. So you get.
What?
I
Because of
want
course you've also fought Saturday just gone against Paul Clues.
yeah,
Unfortunately, again you got stopped after
yeah.
round what. Going into that fight, did you know? Do you study your opponents?
I try and watch as much as I can, but obviously with that Paul Clues, it's a bit of a last minute call.
How many days notice? Because sometimes you journeymen get what?
I think I
Some
got 4
journeymen get
days.
2 days notice, a week
Yeah,
notice. How
I
many
think I got
days?
3 or 4 days. I think I got 3 or 4 days on that
Yeah.
one. So I watched a few YouTube videos, and then I knew he was quite a come forward fighter. So in my head, I thought, oh, I'm going to meet him and try and maybe like this way him. But I got cut in the end of the first round. And after that, obviously, when you get cut, you get a suspension anyway. So I thought, oh, I'm going to bring it to him a bit. But then obviously in the second round, blood was running into my eye, and he caught me with a hell of a shot.
You couldn't
And it
see
got
anything really, could you not? Like
no,
as blood was
left
going
eye was
in.
yeah, left eye was cloudy. I couldn't
Was it
really
a
see out
head
anything.
clash that caused the cut, or was
No,
it
I
a
think it was a
punch?
right hand, mate. I think he got me with a good right hand at last 5 6 seconds of the
I
round
think
one.
your all three of your fights are on YouTube. Well, the Keenan and the Paul one is.
Yeah, I think in fact, I'm pretty sure the Kershaw. I'll send you a link, mate, if you want it. But yeah, the Francis
I've
Kershaw.
watched the Keenan fight and I've been given a link to the Paul fight and I'll send
Yeah,
you the Paul fight over if you
yeah,
like.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've tried to watch it back. But like I say, he got me the good right hand in the first round, which I think is what caused the nick. It's only a little nick, but because it's on my eyelid, it was just pouring into my eye. So my left eye
Yeah.
was just so cloudy.
So how long have you got to keep that on for? And have you had stitches for it?
No, it's just glued, mate. So I've glued, and then I've got some like strips put on it.
Yeah, yeah. So how
Yeah,
long
and
do
then
you have to have them on for?
I don't know. It didn't really say, but I assume until the stuff it's scabbed up and healed now. So maybe in a day or two, I might see if it comes off quite freely. But I just want to leave it on as long as possible. Well, as long as it needs to be, so it heals right.
Um,
So I don't want it opening up again.
so when you were in there, was Paul a hard hitter?
He was sharp, and then he because I watched him against I think it's Martin Shaw.
Oh yeah, Martin.
And I thought he looked decent, tidy boxer, but he was a lot sharper than what I thought he was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And he was strong. I think, and then like I say, he got me with a good right hand in the first round, which caught my eye. And then it was in the second round, I thought, oh, I'm gonna try and bring it to him a bit because
Oh, so you would
when
when you knew you had the cut, you wanted to get that win, get him out of there.
well, I just thought I know I'm suspended probably for 28 days anyway with the cut, so I thought, oh, I may as well make a fight of it type thing. But obviously, when
Yeah.
the blood goes in your eye, and there was a few times the court, he had me on the ropes, and I threw some good shots to him. And
Who's been the hardest hitter you've faced out of these three just at the moment?
I'd say Kershaw, but because it's always the shots you don't see coming that.
I thought you was gonna see, say, Keenan or Paul, as they were the ones who stopped you.
Nah, I'd say Kershaw. He's a strong kid. He does it hard. But with Kershaw, because I took quite a lot of them on the gloves, but you could feel it, and you were like, I was like, bloody hell, he does it hard.
Yeah.
But because the one that Paul got me, he because don't get me wrong, it was a brilliant shot, but because my eye was clouded and he got me right at the temple, he just got me flush because I couldn't obviously see anything coming.
And then
It was
did did the ref wave it straight off, or was it just
no, he was counting me, and I thought, if I'm honest, I thought I'm cut anyway. He's probably going to get the better of me. May as well
yeah,
damage limitation and just stay down for the count. He did proper up. It was a proper good. It did buzz me real well.
yeah.
I'll overly absolutely admit that he did really buzz me, and but I thought damage limitation here. There's no point. It's probably going to get worse, so I may as well just
Mm,
chill out for 10
yeah,
seconds.
yeah. Yeah, mate. So it looks like you've got Joe Sullivan in on the 30th of July. It says here.
Yeah.
Would that is that going ahead or
Well, obviously, I see because when you get suspended, you got to go for another medical. So you're not like a full on medical, but you got
yeah,
the
yeah.
doctor to sign your suspension notice off, and then it's got to be sent to the British Boxing Board. So if it's there in time, then yeah, it'll be going ahead. But if obviously if there's any delays, then
Is it another
I'll,
4 round? Well, if you do fight him, 4 rounds, as it's only his second fight.
yeah, it'll be 4 round of me. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Do you know much about this Joe?
I don't, mate. No, I've sort of take each fight as it comes. So unfortunately, I was supposed to be fighting this Saturday as well.
Who was you
Uh,
scheduled to fight?
a lad called Kazra. He's on the Wakefield lightweights card. It's his debut.
Oh, I think that's on VIP boxing.
Yeah, it's a VIP show. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
lad called Kazra. I was supposed to be fighting him, but obviously I got stopped. So that's not
yeah.
going ahead at the moment. It's a bit of a shame. I just
It's a
want
bit
to
of
be
a
busy,
shame.
mate. To be honest,
What
just want to be
about
busy.
people at light heavy? What about Ben Whitaker? Do you fancy that fight, mate?
I mean, I don't think I think it'd be a quick one. But I'd take the money if it got offered to me. I'd take the money.
Yeah,
Certainly take the money.
but there's any light heavyweight or middleweight or super middle wanting a good test. This guy's your man.
Yeah, hopefully.
Nah, mate, you're just even
I'm
though
like I
you've
say, I'm
been
learning on
stopped
the job.
twice, because some of the best you get stopped early on, but these fights will learn will do you good, mate, and
Oh,
soon
definitely. Yeah, that's
you'll be one of the best journeymen around, and then people will be like, you can literally hit a sledgehammer around his head and he'll still be standing.
I hope so. Yeah, maybe not take too much damage, but yeah, no,
Is
like I say, I'm learning on the job, and I'm hoping to get better with each fight
there
and
any
test.
light heavyweight super middles or any prospect that you would be, or what's like your goal on the road? Hit what 50 fights, or what's the goal on the road for you, mate?
Obviously, I want to take each fight that comes. I'm going to renew my license, obviously, and ideally, I mean, I'm getting married, so I want my wedding paid off, a bit of savings in the bank. I've got a pretty good job as it is, so it's not as if like I'm fully relying on this, fortunately. But
Yeah, yeah.
I do want to sort of set myself up for the future financially.
What do
Um,
you think? Like, would you would you like at least a fight like one time like fight on a BT show or
yeah,
Sky?
so it's
One
yeah,
of
to
the
talk like goals. Then I'd love to do a fight at York Hall. I think that's British Mecca of boxing into York
oh yeah,
Hall, and
I was there on the weekend. Always a good little venue, York Hall.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'd love either a TV show, and I'd be happy. Do you know what I mean? They're good goals to have, I think, as a journeyman. And
Are you one of those journeymen who want to hit like a a landmark, like 50 fights, or just see how it goes?
Yeah, maybe 50, but I don't think I'd go as far as 100. I'm 30 now, so
Mm,
I'd have to do some years to get 100, but 50, I think I'd quite happily do.
yeah,
To do
that's
that
good,
in
mate.
2 or 3 years as
So,
a
what's
pro.
your
But
goal in the sport? Just so when you retire, what do you want to be known as? Like remembered as in the boxing?
as long as I'm not like a obviously everyone's got their own bit of personal pride. You've got to swallow it as a journeyman, but as long as I'm happy, my missus and my kids are happy, that's me, and I've provided for them, mate. I'm happy with that. Um, I've not really got any massive aspirations as a boxer. I just do it for the pure love of the sport.
Yeah, yeah,
And then obviously come 2 or 3 years down the line, if I choose to retire,
yeah.
maybe take up coaching,
And
coach up a few
before I
lads
let
now.
you go, mate, I've got um a boxing fight coming up, and then you can shout your just anyone out you want. But
Yeah, yeah.
Spence or Crawford, mate.
I think Spence, if I'm honest. I think Crawford, as fantastic as he is, he's obviously got a few more years on the clock. And Spence is huge at that weight. I have no idea how he makes it still because he's absolutely monstrous at that weight. And he's sharp and a very good boxer as it is. So for me personally, I think Spence takes it. Why, who do you think?
We disagree. I reckon Crawford.
I don't get it. It's a tough fight to call, isn't it, really? Because both
Yeah,
have.
yeah. You can't argue either way, and you could make. I wouldn't argue if you said Spence point, Spence knockout, Crawford knockout, or Crawford points. Could go.
Well, did you watch
Let's just
Crawford
hope
again?
it's not a draw. Just put it that way.
Yeah. Did you
But
watch
if it
Crawford
is a
Avenue?
draw, I would love to see it again. Just put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. What were you saying?
Did you watch Crawford Avanesian? Because
Yeah.
Avanesian's a very good fighter, and Crawford soon dispatched of him, didn't he? So
Yeah. Yeah. I like Evanisian. He's good.
yeah, he's a good fighter, mate. Very good
Yeah.
fighter.
And do you want to thank just anyone? Your manager, just trainer?
Yeah, so my trainer, Rye Vickers, give him a shout out. My manager, Matty Teague, he's sorted me out good and proper. Top blokes, pair of them. And then obviously you for giving me time, mate, and interviewing me.
Oh, thank you, mate. Thank you for your time. And wait, before I let you go, sorry. How many more fights this year, roughly? Do you want to have another 4, 5?
Oh, more than that. Now I reckon probably another. What are we in now? July now, isn't it?
July.
Maybe 6 or 7. Yeah, another 6 or 7 this year,
Mm-hmm.
ideally.
That's good, mate. And I do really appreciate your time and
Oh,
thank you for
no
coming
worries,
on.
mate. No worries. Thank you very much.
And congratulations on your marriage, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you, mate. Thank you for
Cheers,
your
pal.
time. Bye.
No worries.